You're watching TelecomTV. I'm Guy Daniels, Director of Content. A move towards openness has seen the emergence of new technologies and solutions for telecoms networks, and coupled with the continuing trend of disaggregation, this has resulted in a potentially larger and more innovative ecosystem of suppliers and developers. But is this new open ecosystem receiving the necessary support of telcos, and are they capitalising on this opportunity? Well, joining me now to provide a telco's perspective on this is Mark Chong, who is Group Chief Technology Officer for Singtel and who is also a board member of the NGMN. Hello Mark, very good to meet you and thanks for joining us today. Can I start by asking you whether or not the planned expansion of the vendor ecosystem has stalled, because there appears to be a lack of visibility of new entrants securing telco contracts. Is the choice simply not yet there, or are telcos choosing to stay with their existing preferred partners?
Thanks very much for having me here today. To the question, Guy, I don't think that it has really stalled. Maybe temporarily, because of the US ban on the Chinese vendors, we might appear that there is a limited choice of vendors for the telcos. But really, for those who might be a bit more aware, there are actually some major movements amongst some of the hyperscalers who are looking at the space and are trying to enter the market. So I do not think that the ecosystem the evolution of the ecosystem has stalled. But I think we are in a regrouping phase, and I think we will see a lot more happening probably in the years to come. Yeah.
Okay, thanks Mark. And we talk a lot about open networking now, but what is the importance of open networking in helping to expand the community of vendors and developers? And in this instance, what does open actually mean in telecoms?
Well, open really means the interfaces between various network elements are of a certain standard that everybody has adopted. Things like 3GPP in telco protocol. Other interfaces that are now commonly adopted include the TM forum, open APIs. Such things actually facilitate the interoperability between different systems and are actually very crucial to the growth of our business.
And Mark, we hear constantly about the need for us to support startups and to foster innovation. Yet perhaps we may be incapable of properly nurturing and developing viable new companies. Is it a case that telcos are not doing enough to help here?
Well, interesting question, Guy. I'm not too sure what draws that conclusion. But for us, we have been funding. We have a corporate VC of a few $100 million for more than 10 years now. And we have worked with the likes of France Telecom and Deutsche Telekom with their VC as well for many years in incubating startups, in supporting new startups. Not all of them, of course, make it to mainstream, but many have also prospered. And essentially, I think for us, in our case, the corporate VC called Innovate has generated a return above our WACC.
Well, Mark, it's good to hear that Singtel's doing a lot to support startups. Now, we've a lot of standards activity and there's a lot of labs doing plug tests, etc. So openness and interoperability should not be a problem. Yet, we do hear that there are still perhaps too many closed interfaces and systems, proprietary technologies and barriers towards an open plug and play ecosystem. Do you see that too? And if so, how do we correct it?
I think there's a certain element of truth in what you said. However, I think the world is progressively becoming more open. For those in the industry would recall that previously we had all sorts of telco standards, CDMA and UMTS, but I think the world has also learned its lesson, investing in different standards. So we have now converged to 3GPP standards, and that saved, the innovative ecosystem a lot of time and effort. Now, of course, there remains in the industry certain proprietary and closed interfaces. The appeal is, with 5G coming along, with the disaggregation of networks, it is absolutely crucial that the ecosystem players adopt open standards to facilitate growth and innovation.
Final question for you, Mark. All operators operate at their own paces on this journey, but are there any globally applicable takeaways from early open network deployments that perhaps could help shape future developments?
Well, I will probably highlight 2 points. One, by early deployment of such disaggregated networks and open systems, we provide a platform to allow the early movers, the innovative creators, to test their ideas and hopefully create new businesses and new ideas that benefit society. The other thing is, again, I make the same appeal to ecosystem partners to be more open and not adopt proprietary proprietary standards, and create an environment where different creators of ideas, innovative ideas, can come and prosper and flourish.
Mark, a very clear message there. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme and sharing your views and insights on how telcos can capitalise on an open vendor ecosystem.
Thank you very much for having me, Guy. Thank you.
And you can view all of our interviews and panel sessions from DSP Leaders World Forum 2022 right here on the TelecomTV website. For now though, thank you for watching and goodbye.